In my 4 decades of owning and caring for horses, one thing that is an absolute guarantee is at some point with every horse, something is going to go wrong. Whether they become sick or are lame, they have an injury, anything can happen, and it's just a matter of when. So something that I've learned that's super important is to pay attention to the little details. Watch a horse's behavior, what's normal, what's not normal, see how they act with each other. Watch their just general behavior and their mannerism, because it's so important. When something does happen, you'll know the signs right away that it's just not right. If you're new here, my name is Brandy, and this channel is all about horses and my real life experience with horses. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you all about my mare Nika, and when I noticed that there was something wrong with her, and the different steps we took to figure out what exactly was going on. Let me tell you a little bit about Nika. First of all, she's my absolute favorite mare. I've had this horse, well, she technically belongs to my husband, but we've had this horse since she was a year old, and she's now 20 years old. So a year ago, Nika had her first foal. His name is Manzer, and 19 is a little old for a horse to be a maiden mare, but she was completely healthy, and the vet said that it was totally safe for her to have a foal. So Manzer was weaned at 2 weeks shy of a year old. We weaned him, and everything went just fine with all that. But a couple months after Manzer was weaned, something I noticed is Nika's bag wasn't really drying up the way that it should be. So typically it takes a little while, but she still had a fair amount of milk in there. So I was a little bit concerned about that. So that was the first thing that I paid attention to. And the second thing is Nika started to drop a little bit of weight. And the third thing is when Nika would, say, trot out of the barn to go back out to the pasture after having her grain, there was a sound coming from her hind end, like a wind sucking sound. So air was getting inside of her, and I wasn't really sure why that was happening. So here's where I started to get really concerned. So those are the 3 things that I paid attention to and I watched. But then I started to get really concerned. So at the end of June, and this is 2020, June 27th, I took Nika out on a trail ride, and she was fabulous. She had all the energy in the world, and she was very perky and happy to be out. I didn't notice any problems at all during that time. But shortly after that, just a few days after that, we went to Wisconsin for my mother-in-law's funeral. So we were gone for a few days. I want to say 5 days. And when I came home, Nika had lost a significant amount of weight. And the gals who were taking care of the horses said she just really wasn't eating her grain. Something just wasn't right with her. So I called the vet immediately, and we scheduled an appointment. So this was the beginning, this was probably the 2nd week in July. So I talked with the vet, and one of my concerns was that she hadn't had her teeth done in quite a while. So Nika went away to the breeder in 2018, and then she had her foal in 2019. So it had been at least 3 years since she'd had her teeth done. So that was a big concern of mine. And watching her eat, she's always been a really messy eater. She spills her grain everywhere, even when she has her teeth done on a regular basis. So, but I just thought, well, maybe there's an abscess or something brewing in there that's bothering her that could potentially be the issue. So I knew that when the vet came, we had to have a dental exam done. So now I went ahead and made the appointment with the vet, and then I got a call back from the vet a few days later saying that her dental equipment was off being serviced and she wasn't going to have it back in time for the exam. So we decided to put it off another week or so, just to make sure that she had the equipment and we would do everything. So during the time that I was waiting for the vet appointment, I made it a point to pay extremely close attention to Nika. And something I was noticing is, like, she was always in heat. And something else too is the fluid that came out of her was more of a mucus type. So I made sure to share that information with the vet so she knew and could be prepared when the appointment came. So the video I'm showing you today was filmed on July 21st, and this is the day that the vet came to give Nika an exam, dental exam, and kind of see what is going on with her.
Under here, and then we'll lift her head up.
I'm going to point to that ulcer.
Yep, so we've got an ulcer right there. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
a little bit of a wave mouth, which is where we've got high and then it dips up and then goes back down again. And then toward the back, I don't know if you can see, but there are hooks at the back where the blade just kind of go whoop,
Yep.
little ramps there. Some ulcers just along
Oh
here.
yeah, you can really see the wave mouth there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can in person maybe a little bit
Yeah.
better. And pretty sharp. And then the other thing we've got is a little feed packing
Uh-huh.
right there between those teeth. So
Okay.
we call that a diastema,
Uh-huh.
which is just a hole. So I'm going to pick that out and make sure we don't have any other issues there. And we'll go from there. Definitely needs a trim.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a finishing tool.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you can really see the difference.
So, let's get some. She's a little bit gaggy in the back there.
I would be too.
Yeah. I don't really blame her. So let's see if I can't. You're a good girl. Come here. You rest up there. I don't want to really give you much more. We're almost done. Good job. So here's another ulcer we uncovered. Let's see if we can. There.
Oh yeah,
Get
that's
that
good.
into view.
Everything is nice and evened out now.
Just tossing her head a little bit, so we got a little bit of a bonk back there, but she will heal up really fast. And those ulcers will heal up within a week or two.
Okay.
So
Oh.
let's take a look at the incisors. It looks like she's just fractured these.
Mm-hmm. The same teeth. Now, how on earth would that happen?
So they almost look like rubs.
Yeah.
Do we have any hay bags that she's chewing or taking from?
You know what? I used to have metal grates on. This was a little while ago, but on inside my hay boxes.
Mm-hmm.
But
It looks pretty symmetrical.
yeah. Interesting.
So little tiny baby canines on the bottom.
Yeah, we do have hay nets now too, but
Yeah.
those were like metal grates with like 2-inch holes, so they had no choice but to bump their teeth on them.
Yep.
And which why I thought that was an okay idea. I have no idea, but they didn't last long.
She's got one little baby canine tooth right there.
Oh,
No other wolf teeth. No
interesting.
Other,
I've never noticed that.
No canine teeth.
Huh.
No.
Now
wolf
some
teeth.
mares get canines, right?
Yep. Yep. So this is one baby, and it feels like there might be one underneath here, like
Okay.
a blind
Now, is there
one.
any rhyme or reason to it, or do they just
Genetics?
Okay.
So you're gonna have to start flossing. Otherwise, they look pretty good.
Could you imagine having to do that?
Oh my goodness.
I used to brush my horse's teeth when I was little. Loved it. He'd just sit there and tolerate it.
All right, let's pop her off the side again. We'll do
in the back. I don't want to leave any longer than we have to.
Now, as far as the hind end goes, one of the things that the vet was concerned about is the possibility of Nika having an infection. So something she needs to do is to go in and collect a sample and to send it out to be tested to see if there's anything going on in there.
See how that's all inverting?
Yep.
And sometimes that happens when they lose weight.
Well, she's been like that since she had Manzer,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like that before.
And sometimes issues like that can cause them to lose weight too.
Okay.
Got chronic inflammation. It's a little bit wet. Sorry. Solution to pollution is dilution. See if you can grab those hairs up there. Perfect. Her cervix is wide open. She is
What does that mean?
just likely that she's in heat.
Okay.
So we'll get this for culture.
Hmm. Wow.
Not really milk.
Interesting.
Doesn't really smell bad. You want to taste it?
Nom 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 nom. I'm a horsey that's saying, ooh, yummy medicine. Medicine was yummy, and it's making me sleepy.
Trying to figure out what's going on with a horse can be a multi-step process. So today's video was part one of this. I'm going to be sharing the next step of what's going on with Nika very soon, so stay tuned if you want to see that. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!